I'm just trying to find the countdown. I'm sorry, everyone. Okay, there. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Final Siren podcast. Today, we've only got Lachlan, who's the other member of the Final Siren podcast. We haven't got Faraz, we haven't got Davos, but we have got CJ. Thank you, CJ, for coming on. You're the first ever guest on this podcast. So, it's an absolute honour to have you here.
No, thanks for having me on. It's good to get onto this podcast. It's obviously growing. Really good podcast. I enjoy it. Shame that there's no Faraz or Davos, but we'll get the job done. And yeah, thanks for having me on.
No problem. We'll head straight into it with the first game of this round, Eels versus Storm. We did a preview on this game. Lachlan was there, Faraz was there. We all tipped Parramatta, and straight out of the blocks, it was complete dominance from the Eels. Would either of you boys like to start on talking about this game?
Guess first.
Yeah, all right. I thought it was an all right game. The first half I didn't really enjoy it because it was one-sided for Parramatta. I tipped Melbourne originally, but I switched to Parramatta once I learnt of Jerome Hughes got ruled out. It was an all right game, but I think the second half was more entertaining than anything. First half, a bit sloppy. Second half, better. Melbourne got more into the action as the game went on, but that last play with the Cameron Munster kick, I don't understand why he was kicking. I thought it was going to be Nick Meaney. He rushed it and kind of just blew there. Any chances of him coming back? So Melbourne are out the top four for the first time in 8 years or something?
Oh yeah, it's
2014, I think it is.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, crazy to think that. I think. Well, I went into this game. I thought Parramatta were going to win, but I mean, weren't Parramatta like 22-0 up at one stage, and then Storm scored the final point of the game, I thought, but that Munster kick was just
rushed.
That just shows, because then they went on to make a line break as well, as in that set after the missed kick, so they really could have actually had a good chance there.
I would have trusted him to 100 meters too, but yeah.
What about you, Lockley?
Well, for that game, we had a matchup of Dylan Brown versus Cameron Munster, I believe, wasn't it, Noah?
Yeah, yep, that was it.
Yeah, and Dylan Brown definitely won that matchup on the night. He scored that one try where they let go of him, and he went straight through and scored again. It was just weak defense from Storm. You don't really see that type of thing, just holding into a tackle. But Eels, they were just too good once again. They're coming into form at the right time, going into finals. We've got the Penrith Panthers. That'll be interesting to see how they go. But that's what you have to do come finals time. You have to tighten the screws, and that's definitely what they did against Melbourne. Melbourne didn't have the answers, and they just made the silly mistakes, and Eels got the 2 points that night.
Yep. And that 2 points actually moved Eels into the top four. Melbourne down to fifth. So Parramatta versus Penrith, week one of finals, that should be an absolute cracker of a game. But yeah, I think one thing I don't get about the Storm is they keep naming Meaney at fullback and keep moving Munster there last second. I'm not sure if there's some sort of plan here from Bellamy to not name Munster in the one, but the teams know he's going to move Munster there.
Well, I mean, it's better than Myron Wishart, isn't it?
Well, if I'm picking any of them out to three, I'm not putting Wishart there. I'll say that.
But yeah, I guess. Well, I'm happy with Meaney in the 6 and Munster in the 1, but I guess I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if Bellamy thinks he's smart naming Munster in the 6 and then moving him there last second, because he's done it the past 6-7 weeks. And
predictable now,
yeah.
They'll do it next week as well, probably.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, yeah, it was a really good game. I think Parramatta deserved that win, and I'm not too sure they deserve top 4. after like how hot and cold they've been this
They were
season. But
lucky to make the 8 at one point.
yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. The ladder's been very close this year, so I mean, I reckon Roosters or Rabbitohs or Storm could have got over them at some point. But anyway, on to Friday night's games: Bulldogs versus Seagulls and Roosters versus Rabbitohs. We'll go to the first game: Bulldogs versus Seagulls. This went to Golden Point, I believe.
It never should.
Oh, actually, no, sorry. Sorry, my mistake. No, it got close to going to Golden Point. Yeah, Matt Burton last second field goal.
Should have never been that close either, with how it mainly started.
Yeah, I actually didn't watch the start of this game. I saw, but I checked it. I was checking up on the score. I think at one stage they were leading like 16-0 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
But Manly, their heart's just not in it this year, and I mean, it's easy to see, and yeah, who knows? The Bulldogs, by the look of it, they deserved the win for how they played second half.
Do you think if Tom Trbojevic was playing, they would be in the 8?
Oh, I think they just miss it, eh?
Yeah. With the way everyone else is playing, I don't think Turbo would have been able to be himself anyway.
Well, you could see how Turbo was playing at the start of at the start of this year, because I think he was playing rounds 1 through to 10, I believe, and he was playing against Broncos and Magic round where they lost 38-0. He was playing against first round against Penrith, or where I think they lost 28-6. So yeah, it's just I'm not sure. I don't think Turbo would have made much of a difference. I mean, Garrick's putting in Garrick had been putting in the hard work before he got injured. And I'm not sure who were they playing at fullback while Garrick's been out. I'm not too sure.
Kohler, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah, they have been. He's been all right. I think, yeah. But I'm not too sure if he's ready to play fullback in first grade yet. But yeah, do any of you boys have anything else to say about this game?
Yeah, Manly's a rabble, aren't they? Ever since, well, I guess you can kind of point it at the Pride jersey saga. They've had, 7 losses since then, so it's kind of disconnected the club. Des Hasler, he looks like he's going to quit. Yeah, it's not good for Manly. I don't know how they've let the 16-0 lead go. I didn't watch the game, but I was checking the score, and I thought Manly were going to blow them out. And then Dogs made a comeback, Burton seals it, and sums up Manly's back end of the season.
Yeah, and you're right. There 7 straight losses for Manly now. I think because they only lost 20-10 against the Roosters, and you think if Manly have all their best players in who didn't play because they refused to wear the Pride jersey, you could honestly think that Manly could have won that game against the Roosters. It was pretty close for most of the way through. But yeah, I guess the club doesn't look stable, and there's more news. We'll get to the news section later. There's news on Des Hasler about him possibly being sacked, but we'll talk about that a bit later. We'll move on to the second game of Friday night, Roosters versus Rabbitohs. CJ, I know you're a Rabbitohs fan. You must be hurting after that loss.
Oh, yeah, I mean, to spend about $50 to even get there to begin with. 3 hours to Allianz and back. Yeah, it wasn't fun. I thought, I'm not going to put an excuse out there, but I thought losing Cameron Murray early was massive to us. That really hurt, especially defensively. Yeah, it was just not our night. I thought the Roosters kept Latrell a bit quiet as well, unfortunately. Alex Johnson didn't score, which I was surprised about, but I'll give him the credit of having a good stadium. It's probably one of the best stadiums I've been to. Yeah, not a good night for the result, but if we win next week, then that game's just irrelevant at the end of the day. But yeah, look, I have no words except it was just a shit game and shit result for me personally. But I got to meet some people out of it, including Faraz. The night was good, the result was bad.
That's well put. I think I'll quickly say about this game. I think Roosters seemed to have a big control over the game for the whole way through, but towards the end, Rabbitohs, they started to look like they could honestly mount a bit of a comeback. I mean, I think Tane Milne scored in the 70th minute, and I'm not sure. I feel like wasn't there a chance somewhere after that set to get another try? I just think there was.
It's funny too because when the troll went off, we started scoring points, which is pretty odd. But
I thought the young hooker Peter. Sorry, I don't know how to
Mazzella.
pronounce his last name, but I thought he was really good replacing because Mo went off. He went straight into hooker because Havili went to lock. I thought he was actually really good for
scored.
Only his
Scored
second
our
game.
first try
Or
of the night.
yeah,
36 tackles, only one missed.
No, that's good for.
Yeah.
That's good from a kid like him. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And
what do you reckon about Kalamatangi's try being disallowed?
Oh, I'm still filthy about that. And I don't like the bad plays, but Jackson Paula obstructed the line and just fucked it. Typically from him.
I think by the rules, it's an obstruction. But watching it live, I didn't think it didn't really seem like there was much wrong with it, in my opinion. I think, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, an obstruction is an obstruction. They're gonna have to call that.
I was just annoyed how long they took to even identify the obstruction.
Yeah,
it's like it got sent up, and they're thinking, I don't know where the obstruction is, and then they see the slightest part.
During the off season, the bunker needs to be under review.
Yes,
definitely.
Please. Yeah, it was a costly try because if we get that, we're up 26-20, 26-22, much closer contest. So.
Because nearly every round, the bunker has made some humongous mistake somewhere for some team.
Yep, and It's going to cost someone in the finals, dude. It's going to do something.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's just at the end of the day, the bunker, and they need to just. It's just like even the biggest mistake that points out to me is earlier this season the Tigers versus Cowboys game.
That was a joke.
Because that actually could have majorly affected results. Because say Cowboys don't get that, they have a chance of dropping to 4th or 5th, depending on point against.
I think Tigers fans look at that game now that they have the wooden spoon. They'll be looking at that game and thinking, well, that's just not fair because they would have been on the same points as the New Zealand Warriors, I believe. I think if they went on to win. So, yeah, that's.
And a win there would have brought. That would have brought them a world of good for confidence because they'd been losing. I mean, I think if they win that, then they went on to beat the Broncos next week. That's 2 wins in a row. That's something they hadn't seen in a long time.
And they're probably avoid the spoon.
Well, then they'd be going into the game against the Newcastle Knights at Leichhardt, I think, or Combank. They'd be going into that game 2 wins that's 2 wins in a row. They'd be going in with major confidence, having a chance to win 3, and then in that case they fully avoid the spoon, nowhere near it. So
that's tough.
Yeah, it's unlucky, but the bunker, they need to take a look at that. Definitely, I agree with that, Lachlan. But we'll quickly move on to Saturday's games. Oh, these games, one of them broke me, but I won't get into that too much. Warriors versus Titans. I don't have much to say about this game. 20-6 at half time, I think it was, to Warriors, and 27.
Warriors choked. A few controversial calls towards the end. The Campbell penalty. Reece Walsh was begging to get on when it went to Golden Point. The Warriors, I think they only had themselves to blame, really. You shouldn't be choking a 20-6 lead with, 14 to go or something like that? They're up by 14 points with 14 to go, so shouldn't be letting that slip.
I think they scored 3 tries in 7 minutes or something.
Yeah, I think
something like that. So
at one stage, I think the first try they got was in the 75th through Jaden Campbell. Then they scored another try, and then it was the penalty goal just before full time. So
Warriors have themselves to blame. They've let go of what should have been a win, and they've just let down their fans once again.
Fun fact. I actually joined during the. I actually joined just before. I think when I joined, it was 26 to 10 or actually or 8 or something like that. It was, but Warriors were well in the lead. when I joined, that's when Jaden Campbell scored the try, and I'm thinking, okay, Warriors, they've got 5 minutes left. This is their last game of the season at their home ground. There's no way they're choking this league, but they did, and that's just
Typical. That's just what the Warriors do. I'm not
Reece
surprised.
Walsh, he wanted to be out there. You could see him. He was.
I mean,
mate,
didn't Warriors get the first chance at field goal as well? And it was missed by Dejan Arce.
Yeah, and it was
Think
a 7
so.
tackle.
Walsh could have got
Seven
that.
tackles. I think Walsh is a much better chance. And Dejan Arce, he didn't even get it anywhere near the goalpost, and it didn't even go. Well, it didn't go dead. It was just caught on the goal line. So he didn't have the power. He didn't have the aim for that.
Do you think the Fanua Blake high tackle is a fair call?
Was this the one that led to the penalty goal?
Yeah.
I thought Campbell. It looked like he dived a bit, didn't he, Campbell?
I think he did dive, but I think he was hit high.
Yeah.
There was clearly contact to the head, which is a penalty.
I guess
I think Campbell did.
He took advantage of. He took advantage of what is a vulnerable core, I guess.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day for that call, yes, it's high contact and probably deserved to be a penalty, but yeah, Jane Campbell definitely played that a little bit. I mean, he was definitely not hurt that much by it.
He didn't go for HIA, did he?
Yeah, he definitely stayed on the ground to try and play it out like he had been hit completely high. It was a high shot, but it wasn't to that level of extreme. But I mean, yeah, the Titans, they avoided the spoon, and I mean that's all that matters for their fans, I guess.
You're lucky.
Yeah, the Dragon. In fact, they actually went up. Before we move on, they actually went up all the way to 13th, which is.
They don't even deserve that.
I mean, Warriors down to 15th now.
Yeah, I thought Warriors were second last.
Which is just, I don't even know.
Which with the Warriors squad, it's pretty ridiculous they've finished 15th once again.
Exactly, I agree. I mean, they get even better squad next year with Dylan Walker joining and I think
Barnett.
Barnett, Tamari Martin, Charles Nickel Cookstad.
They'll
got a
probably
lot of
finish
good players
12th
coming in.
on them.
Yeah.
New Corey as well. He's coming through. Yeah.
Oh yeah, true. They've got so many good players coming in, but I'm
They
not even sure
can't
if
finish
that will
bottom
affect them
four,
too
yeah.
much.
Bit off topic while we're on seasons. Was the Bulldogs season a fail? Or was it a pass?
Was it a fail? I wouldn't say it's a fail, but I think it was below expectation.
I think this was more of a rebuilding year, and if you'd asked me at the beginning of the season, like prior to probably round 15 and before, I would have said it was definitely a foul, but they're starting to play some pretty good footy at the end of this season. So I think
I'm going to be honest.
not a pass.
The Broncos were overhyped as well.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of the Broncos, we'll move to the next game. Dragons defeat the Broncos 22-12 at Net
I'll let you lads have your words in on this because I know that would have just sucked.
It broke me, but we move on. That's what it's at the end of the day. It's just a game of footy. It may be a game of footy that hurt me very, very dearly. Yeah, we got to move on. We got to look towards next year. We got some pretty good players coming in next year. I think. Well, at least we have Reece Walsh coming in. He's good. I think he can unlock our full potential. But yeah, the Dragons, they were just too good. Ben Hunt, he always decides to play like prime Jonathan Thurston against us, and yeah.
I don't think the Broncos have ever beaten Ben Hunt.
No,
he's 6-0 now.
Fucking hell. Should have known.
But I think from that game, Ben Hunt has secured the Dally M for this year.
He had to get 3 points that game.
He'd be up there.
Well, I don't see who else would be close to him.
You'd have
Nico Hines would be the
you'd
only.
have your Hines, your Tedesco's, unfortunately.
Isaiah Yo's got to be up there, doesn't he?
Bro, I remember at the start of the year, Jake Clifford was talked up for Dally M, and he's not even making first third now. So it's like...
You may as well say Tex Hoy's up there.
Tex Hoy's probably played more games than Clifford this year, honestly.
I
No.
think he
Was
has.
it
Going
about time
back to the
Ponga's been
Broncos.
out?
Going back to the Broncos, yeah, it's hard to take. It's hard for everyone who's a Broncos fan, including myself. But you got to give credit where credit's due. Dragons were definitely the better team. Broncos couldn't complete sets. The kicking games were off from Reynolds again. Silly mistakes. Legit, that last try, they ran through like 9 players to score.
Big guy, yeah.
That's under 12's defense. But also on the other side, even though it hurts we didn't make finals, the Broncos, it's still a much improved year. They've been 16 and 14th. We finished 9th. We won 13 games, 7 in a row. We have seen the likes of Selwyn Cobbo, Corey Oates back to his best, Ezra Mann coming through. Like Adam Reynolds, even though he didn't have a great finish, you can still say he's had a decent year for his new club.
Mm.
Like, as much as it hurts for the Broncos fans we didn't make it, it's still a pass mark for me.
You'll take positives out of it because
Yeah.
100%.
no, you was in top 4 for majority of the season. So although you didn't finish it, I think even then it's positive. I think if you can just be consistent towards the back end, you should secure finals next year for sure. I have zero doubt.
Yeah.
Definitely. Speaking of finals, 2 teams that were locked into the top 4, Cowboys and Panthers. This game was never going to go any other way, was it, boys? Panthers playing their reserve grade team.
Do you agree with resting players?
Yeah, I do
Yeah,
personally.
I think resting players is fair. We'll touch on that a bit later with because Buzz Rothfield apparently doesn't agree with that at all. But we'll touch on that in the news side of things. But yeah, I mean, Panthers, they have every right to rest their players, and I mean, I feel like the young guns still put up a pretty good fight. If you ask me, what do you boys think?
Yeah, they did. I thought they were brave, especially in the first 10 minutes of that first half. They were brave in defense. You could see that the inexperience was there, but I honestly thought the Cowboys were going to put on a bigger score, considering their third up against second string Penrith team. So Panthers, the kids, it's a bright future ahead for them. They have a great development system, great junior system. No, Panthers, they're brave, and I think it's only fair that they did rest those 13 players for them.
Yep, well said. What about you, Lachlan?
Yeah. I think it was like, you can't really say it was an entertaining game, but it's still, I don't really know what to say about it, to be honest, because it's clear what the score was. Panthers knew, like, everyone knew Panthers weren't going to get up. If they did, it would have been an absolute bloody miracle. Cowboys, once again, show that they're the real deal this year. They're going to be up there. They're going to be fighting for that trophy. How many? Holmes got a hat-trick?
Yeah,
Holmes.
Got a hat trick, then actually got taken off. I only played 56 minutes, got a hat trick, a try assist, nearly 200 run meters, nearly 10 tackle breaks as well. So
Yeah.
that was probably one of his better games. I mean, but at the same time against reserve grade defense. So
Playing against kids, yeah.
yeah,
I'm going to be honest. The Cowboys' back line is what keeps that team alive. And the halves, of course.
Oh,
They're-
yeah, their spine in general, yeah.
Their forwards aren't that great.
I think their 1 to 9 is the strong part of their team.
Yeah. Like, they've got Nanai, they've got Tamalolo.
Yeah. I thought Luciano Leilua was a bit disappointing. I know we touched on that with Nick last night, but I thought Leilua was a bit disappointing. I thought Robson had a solid game, though, as well.
Oh, Robson was very solid.
It was only going to be
Robson is a big dark horse for Kangaroo squad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
it was always going to be one-sided this game, and I think the big part of the game, which didn't really do anything, but Eddie Blacker chasing down Scott Drinkwater towards the end.
Oh.
That was mental. What the?
Scott Drinkwater, he looked like he had it covered. And the last 20 minutes, he looked like he was running on a treadmill.
That
I'm
was
not
like
sure
when
how.
that was like when Jared Wallace and Andrew McCulloch had a foot race at Seabus.
Oh, I wish I had the clip for that. I love watching that every single time. Oh, every single time. It never gets old, that clip. But yeah, I mean, yeah, this game, it was never going to go any other way. The Cowboys putting a big score on the Panthers. But yeah, they showed up. They were brave, the Panthers reserve team. And I mean, yeah, at least we get to see what the future of the Panthers looks like. And moving on to the last day of footy, the Sunday night games. Sunday games. This day was a boring day of footy. Yeah. Knights vs Sharks.
I didn't watch either of them, so I won't have too many comments.
Well, let's be honest. Did anyone watch Knights vs Sharks? Did anybody really care that much?
I kind of have to. I think the first half was all right. The Knights looked really up for it early, but the second half just went as expected. Sharks ran away with it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't really know. I watched part of this game. I tuned in at half time. I was like 12-all, this might be good. Then I tuned in, I think, with 10 minutes left, and I was like, classic Knights. What more can you expect?
They let the chorus score 3, so yeah.
How do you even do that?
If I get
the Knights did. That's who did it.
It is the Knights.
But I thought the only talking point of the game was probably Ikavalu went off and Saifidi didn't even get binned, which shows
I heard
Indiana.
something about Talakai. I don't know what happened, but
pretty sure he's done his ankle or something. And I think he's in doubt to play next week, which would be a big blow for the Sharks. But their depth this season is they've had that next man up attitude, so I think they should be fine.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I wonder who's going to actually fill in that spot. I mean,
I'm trying to think.
I don't even know. Oh, Lachlan Miller might get a go because I think Will Kennedy comes back next week. And Lachlan
Miller was great today, bro. I thought he had a good game.
His debut game was good, and every game he's played in, I feel like he's been really solid. So I feel like he's a first grade player for sure.
Oh, and the club needs a fullback. Just try and snap him up.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, he's been great this season. As for Tigers versus Raiders.
Do we really have to talk about this one?
No, we do not.
It was Tigers got booed off at halftime, which is the main talking point, I guess. I was more entertained by the false alarm in the second half than the game. It was that shit.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, I'm sort of glad the Broncos did lose because otherwise we would have had to sit through that. And hope, with the slightest bit of hope. So I'm sort of glad Broncos lost.
I don't understand the Tigers one bit. They take 2 steps forward and 1,000 back. So just a rabble. They win their first wooden spoon. I'm pretty surprised they've won only their first wooden spoon.
Yeah, it is a bit of a surprise, isn't it?
No, I feel so. They're fans, man. I don't even know how to do it. It's a sad club to be at.
Maybe Leichhardt Oval collapsed on purpose.
It was an omen.
Maybe it thought, oh shit, not this team again.
That's why they're not going to host them.
Well, Leichhardt apparently there's not going to be any games played after the 2023 season if they don't get.
No wonder why. It's a bit of a health and safety risk.
We'll move on quickly to the news side of things. There's a few news things here. We'll try and get through it as quick as possible, but not too fast. Joey Manu suffers a grade 2 calf tear, and it will.
I'm not laughing at that. It's just
end his season. As a Bunnies fan, you're probably not you're probably not happy per se, but I'm maybe a bit relieved that you won't be playing against Joey Manu first week of finals.
I swear I'm not laughing at that. I'm not happy.
Typical Rabbits fan.
I guess I'm happy, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I hope he's okay, but he's definitely a big blow going into a sudden death elimination final. So I'm assuming Oliver Gildart will take his position or someone like that. Yeah, look, Joey Manu's a big blow. If he's lucky, he'll be back if they advance as far as the grand final. He'll be fit for the World Cup, so New Zealand fans can be excited for that. But it's a massive blow, bro, especially in attack. I think they're going to miss him, but they do regain some troops as well, as do we. But yeah, they'll miss Joey Manu, and I think sometimes during the game on Sunday you'll see that he'll be missed there. Yeah.
Bit of a coincidence. He always gets injured against Rabbitohs, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe
Almost like he doesn't want to get hit in the head by a troll again.
They must be.
Yeah, exactly. Probably, but no. Oh well. Well, I guess see him next year then.
Colin Hess gets a head clash and he still gets in trouble, apparently.
Oh yeah. Speaking of bad things are happening for the Roosters currently, and speaking of which, one of the mentors of young star Joseph Suaalii has had a complete brain fade and told the Roosters they should let go of Tedesco to retain to retain Joseph Suaalii. There's points like this where you actually have to ask a person who's saying stuff like this, are you mentally okay? Like, is there something wrong with your head?
He must be a Titans fan.
I ran into Suaalii.
He's probably a Rabbitohs fan, to be honest.
Yeah, I hope so. Get him away from there. I ran into Suaalii in an alleyway on Friday. I know, it sounds weird.
Oh, look out!
And I said to him, I was like, come back. He just looks at me and gives me that that smart mouth. Nah, bro. He literally said, nah, bro. And I was like, go fuck yourself, man. And he heard me. I know he did, but bro, honestly, I can't. Like, nah. I don't know, that was off topic, but I just wanted to say what happened.
Souths fans just get better and better.
Yeah.
That's a random Souths guy moment, meeting in fucking the alleyway with Joseph Suaalii.
Yeah. I didn't think it was him at first. Even I looked and he had all the Roosters kit on. I was like, oh, what the
Did he have his snap move on?
If you're going to let Tedesco go over Suaalii, who will probably leave for rugby in like 5 years anyway, your club just deserves to fall off the face of the top 8. Yeah,
that's something a Rabbitohs fan would say.
Well, why would you let go of probably one of the best fullbacks in the game for a kid that has doubts that he'll even be playing NRL in 5 years? So
you could say one of the best fullbacks of all time.
Definitely.
I'm not going that far.
He doesn't like speed-based roles.
He
like that,
doesn't like. Breaking news: CJ Moxley does not like James Tedesco.
Just breaking. That's totally recent news there. But if I'm the Roosters, I'm picking Tedesco over Suaalii any day.
Yeah,
that's just me though.
Okay, more news. This one's also a bit of a weird brain fade from the Dragons this time. The Dragons have banned their players from having a Mad Monday.
Trust issues.
I think they might just be having a bit of like 2021 PTSD running through their head at the moment. After that barbecue, they're just seeing Paul Vaughan taunting them.
I actually don't have a problem with this.
Well, he's gone England, so it doesn't matter.
I don't have a problem with being banned from a Mad Monday because the amount of stories, the amount of trouble they get up to, you even see with what town you're from, local clubs, they get up to trouble. One of them ends up in the police station. Without doing a Mad Monday, you can still have a gathering and just have a drink or two, like Dragons players have a barbecue. You can just you can just be normal without doing a Mad Monday. I agree with banning him from Mad Monday for this year. In the future, let him free. But
okay,
I think it comes
after last year's episode, definitely agree with this year.
I think it comes down to trust issues. I think Anthony Griffin just doesn't trust his own players. And honestly, if I wouldn't either, I mean, you got Jack de Belin there, who was hiding under beds last year. You got Cody Ramsey and Zach Lomax, who was a part of the barbecue.
That's said
Jack
completely
Bird.
in the wrong context.
So
Just add the
I
word
wouldn't
kid
trust
in there, and all of a
Dragons
sudden he's a
either.
pedophile.
No Paul Vaughan, so who's
Oh,
hosting?
yeah.
Yeah,
Who's
no,
the
look,
host?
if I
Jack
was,
Bird?
I wouldn't trust the Dragons either, to be honest. I don't
Yeah.
agree with banning them from Mad Monday, but like Lachlan said, the amount of sagas that come out of Mad Monday, it's just
Yeah.
you can, like Lachlan said, you can be normal, go to the pub, have a drink. You don't gotta be, doing your teammates' wives and all that. Like, just
True.
just have a normal day out. You can do it on the
Yes.
weekend.
So Lachlan does agree with it. CJ
I'm on the
partially
fence.
you agree with part of it, but yeah, I don't agree with like banning them from it, but yeah, I do see where they would be coming from. I mean, like, yeah, they can have a meet up and just have a couple of drinks. Just don't title it Mad Monday. Who knows?
I mean, they can't really force them not to. It's like, say Ben Hunt has a meeting with Jack Bird, and they're not allowed. It's not like they're gonna sack him.
Yeah, true.
So,
hey, Buzz Rothfield, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, says the NRL should implement rules to stop teams from resting players, and he said they should always play their best possible team.
no.
Why? Why?
I mean, you look at
What's
the
wrong
teams
with
like
resting
the Panthers.
players?
They arrested, like, you look at teams like the Panthers. They arrested basically all of their starting team, and the reason why is because they're already locked in for the minor premiership. So it wouldn't really matter win or lose. They're going to go into verse fourth in a qualifying final, get their team back. I think Buzz is stupid for making this comment. You get injuries in the last round.
Buzz, every comment is stupid.
Like, you see, Joey Manu, he got injured. Cameron Murray suffered a head knock, and etc. I think resting players is fine. I don't understand why Buzz wants to implement rules to stop teams from resting players. It happens every year. I don't get it.
Buzz needs a buzz in the brain.
Well, when is Buzz Rothfield ever been right about anything he's ever said? I'm not sure how he's still a journalist.
He's like the Andrew Tate of the Fox League world.
The top B, Buzz Rothfield.
The
top B, Buzz Rothfield.
I mean, have you seen that photo of him with those two girls on his lap?
No,
I have. I've been unlucky enough to see them. He's a bit of a hypocrite, isn't he? Speaking of no, I'm not speaking of hypocrisy, but we'll go into the section of there's two coaches who are in consideration to be sacked. Kevin Walters is the first one. Honestly, if the Broncos sack him, I'm not sure who.
Makes no sense why the Broncos would sack him.
I have a weird
Shane
feeling.
Flanagan's their best pick.
I have this weird feeling you're going to sign someone like Dean Young or something if Walters gets sacked.
No, they'll probably get bloody Anthony Seibold back now and then.
Mick Potter, maybe? He might be all right.
Even thinking of sacking Kevin Walters is the most stupid thing I've ever heard.
You don't want to
He's taking the club. Well, he's taking the club. When he came here, it was just after we got a wooden spoon. Last year we finished 14th, but that was like with 7 wins, 17 losses. That was decent considering the squad we had. We've rebuilt now. We've gone to 9th. You can only picture we're going to go up from there into next year. And they're thinking of sacking him. I mean, we were sitting top 4 for ages.
Adam Reynolds has legit said Kevin Walters is part of the reason why he came to the club.
Exactly.
Kevin Walters has the effect on people of signing players. He has come out, players have come out and said the relationships building between them is...
He's brought back Reece Walsh as well. So he's bringing back that junior base to Brisbane.
Exactly.
Since Walters got there, the culture's gone up another level.
Exactly.
He's brought back the old days of wanting to win. You saw in the 7 straight, the defense was unheard of for Broncos for 3 years. They were showing up for each other. Kebby gives him a spray. It comes out that he's too harsh. And then now all of a sudden, Cobbo's late 30 minutes for captain's run. He gets a spray, which is fair
apparently
enough.
Someone graffitied one of the coach's cars.
Well, apparently the
all know
CEO
that's
said
true,
that's
but-
incorrect.
It was Seabold. We all know that.
It was Seabold.
He's making a return
Seabold
to...
was one of them.
Well, let's just quickly look at something. Isn't Seabold part of like the Knights coaching staff at the moment, and Knights have finished third last?
I thought he was part
Yeah,
of the
that's why I'm
Union team's
concerned if he
defense.
ever comes back here.
Eels defense team, did you say?
No, I thought he was part of. It's like a Union team.
No, he's part of the Knights.
Maybe. Yeah, I think he joined Knights. Like it was only halfway through this season though.
You know what's funny? I think it's their
like an
attacking.
assistant.
I think it's their. I think he's in charge of their attack, which would explain a lot.
Anthony Seabold job. We are having a live. Former Broncos coach Anthony Seabold has landed a new job with the England rugby side. Seabold will be the defense coach.
He's been at like 3
Wait, so
clubs
he's been
in
sacked
months.
from Knights already?
Yeah, he hasn't been with the Knights for ages.
Wait, what? I swear. Oh,
He was,
Last week
but
in the
he's the
box.
defense coach of the England rugby union team.
Oh, that's probably why they're shit as well.
The Wallabies
guys
on
are-
top.
Guys are walking curse.
While we're still on the subject of coaches, Des Hasler is also apparently in consideration to be sacked. Now, should Des Hasler be sacked in your boys' opinions?
He won't be sacked. He'll quit. But if Manly do decide to sack him, I think it'll be a wrong decision. I do have. Well, I've read reports that he is disagreeing with some of the senior players, and also the board who want to put new assistant coaches in with him and take the club in a new direction, which he's going to disagree with and fight it or something like that. Should it be sacked though? No.
Well, apparently, if he disagrees with the new coach assistants they put in, they're going to sack him. Which I think, if you're building assistant coaches, like signing assistant coaches, you're trying to sign them around your head coach, people he'll work well with. So I'm not sure what they're doing here with signing people he won't agree with. I think that's just stupid. And honestly, I don't think he should be sacked. And I feel like because people are forgetting, like halfway through this year when Manly were starting to struggle a bit, there were rumours that he should be sacked, even though last year he gave him a top 4 finish.
He's proven that he can still take them to finals. Manly have had a bit of a rough year with injuries and all that stuff that's going on. But should he be sacked? No. Give him another year. I think he can take Manly back to the finals next year.
Well said. And our last piece of news is Cameron Murray has reportedly no symptoms of concussion and could return this week. Now, they're not sure if this is true or if it's just, I'm not even sure what's happening there. But if this is true, this is big for the Rabbitohs. This is really big. Well, let's let Jay go first on this because
tomorrow he'll go through protocols because we will know by the Tuesday afternoon if he'll play or not. Cameron Murray, as it stands, apparently I can't speak for him because I don't live with him or anything, but apparently he's waking up with no, concussion symptoms like dizziness or consistent headaches. He's come out and said that he's feeling fine. Look, he was also at the Rabbitohs have this thing every year. It's called the Red and Green Ball. It's like just an event, really. He was there. He looked fine. Everyone was fine. It was loud, so. I think he'll play.
The thing is, even if he doesn't have symptoms, he still has to pass the test, which is...
Yeah, he has to pass the test tomorrow afternoon, and an official result will be determined by Tuesday. But as it currently stands right now, I'm hearing he will play, but it just depends what the independent doctor rules the decision. Yeah, so I'm hoping he plays because it'd be a big in for us.
Yeah.
We'll move to the last thing. This isn't news. This has to do with the podcast. So I think at the start of at the restarting of this podcast a few weeks ago, I said this on stream: if the Titans don't win the Spoon, I will jump off a cliff. I will legitimately jump off a cliff. Now, due to me actually wanting to keep my life, I will not be jumping off a cliff, and I've expressed this a few times. But the boys and I have come to an agreement. If you guys can leave some suggestions on what my consequence should be on our Instagram, I'll actually put up a question box right now. We'll pick 4 from that question box. We'll put them together. We might even add in a few of our own if we feel like it. And I think we'll see what's happening. We'll pick some, then we'll come to a decision on what I should do, because that was an outrageous call from myself. And
I feel bad for you. This is one of the. You've done punishments before, and it seems like it's mainly you getting.
I just, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for it. But I mean, the boys can pick one out for me. We've even discussed a few before this podcast. So if all you want to leave a suggestion on the Instagram, I'll post it as soon as we finish this podcast. Then just go ahead, do that, and during the next episode, I'll be doing some form of consequence. But that will just about wrap us up here. Firstly, I want to thank CJ for hopping on the podcast. It's been an absolute pleasure having you, mate. Thank you for talking footy with us for a good 45 minutes.
We'll definitely return at some stage.
Yeah, thanks, boys, for having me on. It's good to get onto the podcast. It's a great podcast. It's definitely growing. You boys have both intelligence and the humour to progress this show. So good on you for doing what you're doing, and I look forward to hopefully jumping on again in the future. And thanks for having me on once again.
Well, thank you. You're welcome anytime. Thank you all for tuning in. If you want to watch more of our stuff, we do have videos up on our channel. We will see you possibly Wednesday night for the finals week 1 preview, which should be a good one, should be a banger. We should have Davos and Faraz back by then. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.